Here we go. So, hello and welcome to another stream with me, Christian Rauchenwald, on this beautiful Tuesday evening for me, Tuesday afternoon, morning, whatever for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Today's Let's Talk About is about one of the topics I've been waiting to cover for pretty much since last year in May when I first learned about High.com, or back then it was called High Dollar, and their cashback debit cards. So today we pretty much are going to talk about those cards, what they offer, how you can get one, if it's worth getting one, and so on. And hopefully I'm going to do my best to answer all the questions you might have about the cards in the first place. So yeah, before we take a look at the offer itself, let's talk about or cover quickly my introduction into crypto. So I dabbled in crypto or with crypto in, I don't know, like 2017 to 18 and so on. And then, if I recall it correctly, I would need to check our Coinly account, but somewhere in either it was end of 2018 or end of 2019, I actually discovered Crypto.com back then with their cashback debit cards. And they really had a great offer. Unfortunately, it's not so great anymore, but we covered that in this live stream as well. And back then, basically, I ordered first their blue card that offers, that offered, I don't know, like 2% cashback or so, but then pretty much instantly upgraded to their 3% cashback card. And I invested a total of again, would need to check the Coinly account, but as far as I recall, it was like around 1,400 euros. So back then around $1,600 US to get that card. So I had to buy Crypto.com's coin CRO and basically stake it, so lock it up so that I get that specific card with back then 3% cashback, and also basically free Netflix. So you pay Netflix with that card and it refunded you to it. Now again, right now it's not even worth looking at it, although we're going to do that in this stream as well, because the offer is now really crappy. But that's how I basically started to do more with crypto. And interestingly enough, so this year Crypto.com made a lot of changes and nerfed a lot of their offers, so lower interest rates and reduction in cashback and so on, to the point where the card simply wasn't worth it anymore, especially since I already knew in advance, or since we all knew in advance, that High.com is going to launch their own cashback cards, which I've been waiting for. And so while I got into it, Crypto.com was back then moving between, I think, 6 euro cents, so let's say 8 cents US dollars, and 14 or 16 cents US dollars. So in that range, so that's where I got in, and I got out. Then basically, I sold all my CRO coins, so basically the Crypto.com coin, at around a little bit more than 30 euro cents, so like 32, 33 US dollar cents this year. And surprisingly enough, so as mentioned, I invested around 1,400 euro, so $1,600 back then. And when I cashed out all my CRO coins this year, it was actually, it was not a fortune, but it was more than $10,000, and all of that was just from cashback. So it was from, for example, when I think last year or the year before that, I would have to check, but when we, for example, bought our new cameras to record videos for this YouTube channel and other projects, and like the 2 cameras plus the lenses, the SD cards, the chargers and all that stuff, all together it was a couple €1,000, and it felt really nice to pay with it with the Crypto.com card, and instantly seeing, okay, we, for whatever, for every 30 euro, for every 1,000 euro that we paid, we got 30 euro instantly back in CRO coins, which I back then still believed in the company and the project, so assumed that they will increase in value. Well, and overall they did. And going on vacation, paying with your cashback card, and you get some money back. Buying groceries, you get money back, and so on. So it's really nice, because having a cashback debit card, especially if it's a crypto cashback debit card, means that while it comes with some steps that you don't have to do with your normal credit card, because it's a debit card, so you have to somehow put money on that card, but it means wherever you pay with the card, you basically also at the same time put money aside. So think about it like this. If you were able to pay all your bills, like rent, groceries, everything you pay for, with a cashback card that offers 5% cashback and you spend your entire salary every month, it would still mean that you basically put 5% aside in savings because you got that back from the card. And while there are like regular cashback cards that might offer you like minor cashback depending on the country you're in, so like if you pay in US dollars, you also get the cashback directly in US dollars. I like crypto cashback cards even more because if you believe in the project, and if the project actually moves forward and grows, then the 5% cashback that you got a year ago, if you don't exchange and sell the coins that you get as cashback, actually can turn into 10%, 20%, and even more because you get it in that cryptocurrency. And as long as you don't sell it, basically if the value of that crypto goes up, so goes the value of the cashback that you got. Yeah, so it's kind of like really, really interesting. And so, yeah, that's why I think it's a no-brainer to have a crypto cashback card because you don't have to worry about taking extra money to buy crypto. You just make sure to use your card everywhere. And then in case of Hi.com, you can get anywhere from 1 to 10% cashback. Although I assume that for most people, 10% is like out of the reach in terms of the requirements, but we're going to cover that as well in this stream. But the point still is like even on the lowest tier, you would get 1% cashback. So every time you spent €100 or dollars to pay for something, you would get 1% back in high dollars or in high coins, high tokens, that then hopefully over time will increase in value. Or if you don't believe in the project, you just sell them for some other cryptocurrency or then for fiat. But yeah, still point stands. The main reason why I love crypto cashback cards is because it allows me to get more crypto without actually spending any of the money that we earn. So I can focus putting the money we earn, either reinvesting it in our business, like when we bought the cameras, or investing it in stocks or other forms of investment, so to also diversify our portfolio and so on. And I don't really have to think about buying crypto. Yeah. Now, I mean, over the years, obviously, I still ended up buying quite some crypto. But it's still nice to think back that at least more than €10,000 that I cashed out from crypto.com is basically my initial investment. And then on top of that, €9,000 I earned with cashback. Yeah. Or my initial investment also doubled. So €7,000 I earned with cashback, or we earned with cashback. So it's kind of like really, really nice. Now, what makes Hi's debit cards or crypto cashback cards so special and better than other products? And there are actually a couple of things here to mention. Some of them might not be super relevant, but obviously the most important one is, and for that we can actually, I'm gonna just have to click somewhere, screen sharing, and we can actually take a look at the Hi.com website where you can right now see the trailer video for the cards. And when we scroll down, we get to a comparison table of all their tiers or not. There it should come somewhere. There we go. Yeah, I mean, you might, hopefully it's full screen, so it should be more than enough, but I'm anyway going to share with you. So first of all, what makes them different from all the competitors out there? There are other cards out there that would allow you to get up to 8% cashback with certain limitations and so on and different requirements. Again, we're going to look into that as well. But Hi.com or Hi Dollar actually, or Hi actually, they changed from Hi Dollar just to Hi. Actually goes far beyond that and offers up to 10% in cashback. So it means 2% more money. Yeah. And they still have an entry-level card that offers you 1% cashback. Now that's one of the difference. The second difference, which is kind of like just a gimmick in my opinion, is that for all the people that get at least a Hi Gold card, so a Hi Gold members or platinum or diamond, the first 10,000 on the waiting list will be able to customize their cards and print an NFT on it. So, I mean, there's still some discussion. It looks like it will only be NFTs from certain collections like Bored Ape Club and so on, yeah. But overall, it's like kind of like a nice gimmick to show or, like give crypto more, or NFTs in that case, a little bit more use cases. And if you go for a diamond card, and you have some Bored Ape or Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT and you put it on there, I'm sure it feels nice to kind of like carry it around and not just have it as your Twitter user image, but obviously that's for most people not super relevant. For me personally, If I'm able to put my own NFT there, then I probably will mint one of our emojis or so as an NFT and put it on the card. If I would have to buy some NFT for that, I probably wouldn't do it unless I find something for, I don't know, I mean, $50 or less. That would be my like price limit here that I would be willing to spend to pimp, in quotes, the look of the card. Yeah, but so again, first, the Hi.com debit cashback MasterCard will offer more cashback, or offers more cashback than any other card out there right now. And second, there is the option for people on the gold tier and higher to customize it with their NFT, which is already, as I said, I consider it a gimmick, but it's nice to know. And the third option, which is really, really cool, people will actually be able to pay with crypto. Now, for example, when you have the Crypto.com debit card, you actually have to either deposit fiat, so you deposit euro or US dollars or whatever your currency the card is in with your credit card or wire transfer or from your fiat balance within your Crypto.com account, or you can sell crypto to put that on your card and then you can pay. However, based on the documents and the Help Center articles that are already available and so on, and the news that has been shared with Crypto.com, with Hi.com, with the new Hi card, you will actually be able to spend your crypto directly. So when you spend your crypto, then basically you can say, okay, I want to pay with Bitcoin. I mean, you will not be able to say it when you pay, but when you configure your card or in your app, you basically have your fiat balance, which is one thing, and additionally you can say, okay, my, in quotes, backup balance or additional balance is Bitcoin or Ethereum or another cryptocurrency. Depending on what cryptocurrency you pick, your credit limit, in quotes, so how much you can pay with the card, will be, for example, 80% of the crypto balance plus the fiat balance that you have, for example. But I mean, that's just details thing. The cool thing about that, the cool point or the core point here is you will be able to spend your crypto without actually, so to use it in a store, to pay with your crypto in the store without actually in advance having to worry about selling it. So, and as far as I know from discussions that we had with Hi.com themselves over the last year, so here and there should also be an option. Not sure if it will be there at launch or if it comes later or so. So don't insist on that. I'm just saying, like, information that I had from months ago already. There was an option planned that you can buy now, pay later, in a way that basically you could pay with your crypto. But if you kind of feel that your crypto might still go up in value, you don't have to convert it right now, but you could convert it later. But again, not sure if that's already included in the initial offer or if for technical or regulatory reasons that might have been removed from the list. Yeah. Even without that, still cool. You can spend your crypto. For me personally, that's something I will not do. So that's something people have to consider. If you live in a country where selling crypto means that you have to pay taxes on it, yeah, even though you use it to buy something. So if you have profit on you bought Bitcoin at $20,000, then you pay with the Hi card. Bitcoin is at $30,000, so it sells a little bit of your Bitcoin to pay for the transaction. And if you then would have to pay taxes on the profit that you made, then obviously it might not be the great idea to use crypto to pay for your transaction. But there are plenty of countries where that's not the case, and where it's then obviously actually really nice that you don't have to first exchange it to fiat and move it on your account. Yeah. Now, Pranav, welcome here. And by the way, Devi Pandu also hi. Yeah. Pranav says, I'm gonna highlight that and jump back real quick to the other screen. There we go. The Hi debit card is launching first into an economy that is going through huge recession turmoil with the currency behaving like Alcons. Don't you think this should have entered Asia first? No, not really, because like in Europe, I mean, one of the biggest benefits is in Europe, you have the whole European Union that follows the same or very, very similar regulations, making it relatively easy for Hi to launch there first. Whereas in Asia, unless you talk about, or unless you consider, I don't know, China, for example, but even there, I would say, I mean, I don't have the facts for that, but just from my experience living in Thailand and on the Philippines and so on, I would say that on average, the salary, and probably with that in a regular scenario, so not talking about the current economic situation, but in a regular scenario, the disposable income of the average European citizen and the monthly income of the average European citizen is higher than the average income in most Asian countries as well, which means that the people right now that can get the card. So everybody, by the way, so I didn't point it out, right now the card will be issued first for everybody within the economic European area. So that's basically the whole, and the UK. So that's the whole EU plus Liechtenstein, Iceland, and a third country that I just forgot, but you probably know if you're part of that EEA area or not. And yeah, I think it's probably makes most sense because it's, in terms of regulations, you reach a huge market, and yeah, like the customers that get your card actually are the ones that also have more disposable income or a higher income on average compared to, I don't know, like depending on where you look in Asia, Thailand, and so on, like the average income of the population there is not super high. Yeah? DeFi Pandu, the eBay edition is actually what made me get the gold tier. In my opinion, just this thing is worth every penny because paychecks can be deposited there very easily. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, there I made a video about the IBANs separately, or IBAN. I'm not sure if it's public yet or not, because I'm usually just doing the recording, and then there's the editing process that I'm not involved in anymore, and so on. Yeah. But yeah, so, and in that video I also point out that the IBANs themselves seem like not that much of a big deal, because especially right now when you look into the interface, there's not much you can do with your IBAN account. I also set it up and I like that it's there, but on its own right now it's not like, yay, that's the feature that gets me into high, but it's gonna be like at the center of so many other features, like for example with the card that you can just have your paycheck deposited into your high IBAN or whatever other sources of income you have, and basically then use your card to spend. You don't have to worry about sending it from your regular bank account somehow then to the account from crypto.com and so on. And with the nice difference that if you wire money to crypto.com, you send it to some, either their company or a partner of them and so on, which is then on an account that's, well, the crypto.com account is in your name, but the bank account where your money is parked is not. Whereas with the high IBAN account, it's actually an IBAN account in your name. So while as I point out in the video I made about IBANs, the money protection laws of UK and of the other country that is where the second entity is that helps issuing those accounts don't apply. But it still makes a legal difference if the money is like on some account that somehow belongs to High or a partner of High, or if it's on an account that actually is your account. Because most, or probably all financial institutions, but I'm going to go with most here to be safe, are required to keep customer funds separated from their own funds. So if they declare bankruptcy or so, it's not that your money and their money was in one account and suddenly, well, we also spent your money, we're sorry, yeah, but they're required to have your funds separated. So if they declare bankruptcy, then basically your funds should, in theory, still be safe. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously theory and then reality. Yeah. Real quick, one more question or message from Pranav, and then we move on with like what the High cards have to offer, and also the comparison why it's the greatest cards on the market. If price of High goes to say $1, then the debit card would be purchased mostly in Eurozone. US is restricted market, and most from Asia wouldn't be willing to shell $1,000 just for some cashbacks. To be fair, I think, I mean, that's something I don't know, I think, let's look at crypto.com. Crypto.com had initially a requirement that you needed, for the 3% cashback card, you needed 10,000 CRO coins or tokens back then, yeah? And so that's why I only spent around 1,400 euro to get the 3% card. But then because the price went up, people complained the card is expensive. The price went down, people complained that some cards are too cheap, yeah? And that's why now when you check crypto.com, we can actually do that real quick. So since we anyway are going to do that to make a comparison, so screen sharing, and sorry for that, crypto.com should be hiding, no, that's Bluetooth, that's Binance, there we have crypto.com, and now the 3% cashback card actually, it doesn't offer 3% anymore. That's what I pointed out, that the offer got super nerfed, but it's denominated now in euros. So you still have to stake the crypto.com coin, but it's not 10,000 coins, but it's depending on the value, you either have to stake more or less. And I can imagine that High at some point might make the same switch and say, okay, for the 1% card, it's not like right now you are like €3, €4 to get the 1% card. And for go back to High, for the diamond card right now, you would need around 300,000 if we consider the 1 year discount of $330,000. And if high goes to $1, that card actually would require a $10 million stake. Yeah, I mean, it would still, if it still offers 10% cashback, it's still worth it, because if you have $10 million to stake in a crypto venture, in quotes, then you probably are spending a couple $100,000 per month, and the 10% are gonna be really, really nice in cashback. Yeah, but I assume that at some point it might go in that direction. Now, yeah, like switching back real soon. Sorry, wrong screen. So sorry, here I am again. Yeah. One thing to point out here is what I'm sharing in every screen that, in every stream that we talk about high, is that what you have to consider is high still has the 1 year discount option. So when you're in the app, you can buy with a discount of 33%. Yeah. And obviously, if you have the choice to pay, I don't know, 10 cents per high or 6.33 cents per high, especially if you anyway plan to stake them, you anyway will go with the discount option, because the discount option means it's basically unlocking slowly over a year. But if you pay the full price of, again, let's say, so the math is easier, 10 cents, then you get them instantly. However, those in-app purchases come from a separate portion of the supply. So there's around 27 to 28%. It's mentioned in the white paper. I just don't remember the exact number all the time. But 27 to 28%. So let's say roughly 1/4 of the supply is reserved for those incentives, for the discount, and probably also for other incentives. Yeah, which means as long as that supply is not sold out, everybody that wants to stake, especially, again, you want to get the gold membership, it requires 100,000 high, and now you have the choice to pay either, what would that be, $4,000 right now, or 4,000 or 43,000. Or you take the discount and you save a couple thousand. So you obviously will go for, I'm going to do the discounted purchase. Yeah. But since that comes from the supply, it does not affect the market. Yeah. So that's the important thing. So because it's not happening on the open market, it's coming from the supply directly. Yeah. So when you buy in the open market, basically it would be, I sell 100 high, you buy them, that's on the open market. And when you pay in crypto or in fiat, I get the money, you get the high. When you buy it in the app with the discount, the money basically goes to high, because they're selling it out of that portion of the supply. And again, that doesn't affect the value. Now, why is that important? Because we're talking about a little bit more than a quarter of the entire supply, and there's still relatively much of that incentive balance left. Yeah. So which means when the card now launches in Europe and so on, and a lot of people go and stake and buy and so on, it will use up some of that incentive portion, but it will not use up all of it. It's, in my opinion, highly unlikely, because it's like, again, a little bit more than a quarter of the entire supply. Yeah. And as a result, many of the people that jump on the high cards and get the membership tiers now for the in Europe will not actually drive up the price that much. If we then consider they start spending with their card and get cash back, I mean, I will collect my high, because I consider it like a really high potential investment. But again, that's just my opinion, not financial advice. But there will be people that get $5 in cash back and then will sell that instantly to have some extra money in their pocket or on their card to spend again. Yeah. But that selling actually will happen on the open market. So every time somebody sells, obviously it has an effect on the price, because that happens on the open market, where every time somebody new joins, as long as they can get the 1 year discount, most of them will choose it, and that doesn't affect the price, which means that it will still take some time, or more precisely, only once that incentive supply is used up, will we actually, in my opinion, see the real price or value of high develop. Because then no matter if you want to buy, so no matter if you want to buy high or if you want to sell high, it will then happen on the open market. Now, real quick, before we move on with the general topic of what's to offer, Pranash, welcome, or Pranay, cashback in BTC is the best. All the cashback are security, my man. That depends which country you are in, if it's a security or not. Yeah, like, so it really, or if you mean it's in Bitcoin, it's safer because of value development, then, well, you can get your cashback in whichever currency you want and then just exchange it for Bitcoin if that's what you're betting on. But personally, considering what high dollar has to offer, and especially the low value it's at right now of like roughly 4 cents per high, I personally see that high dollar has the potential to multiply by 10 or 20 even, or more, but like 10 is definitely, in my opinion, in the cards. Again, my personal opinion, not financial advice. And Bitcoin will also, in my opinion, go up, and we might see, or not might see, but should see 150,000 in the next couple of years per Bitcoin. Might be wrong with that, but that's my personal assumption. but the multiplier of high is simply higher and the benefits they offer are better. Yeah. Now, real quick, what's different would be 1 year lockup into making someone who wants the debit card, since the purchase at market rate will fetch high APR, whereas 1 year lock-in won't. Well, you have to do the math. If you buy with the 1 year lockup, you get a 33% discount, so you have to put up less money. And you can then still, I mean, it's not a year locked and then you get it. If you buy 365 high with a 1 year lockup, then every day you get 1 high. So if you buy 3,650 high, every day you get 10 high. If you buy 365,000 high, every day you get 100 high. Yeah. And you can then basically stake that as well. So, but that you just have to do the math for yourself. You save 33% initially. And if you put it in high earn, where you lock it up for 180 days, if you're at least on a high gold membership, it might make a difference, because there you get actually then 40% APY if you stake it for a year. Plus on top of that, the 30% boost, so you actually effectively get 52% APY. Yeah. You could also put it into the high giga pools. Yeah, if you link your wallet, then it still counts for the membership tier, where currently the APYs are still more than 100%. But there you would have to consider the impermanent loss, because there you only technically are staking half high and half, for example, BUSD. And then depending on the value development of high, your portion, what is high and what is BUSD changes. And although you get a lot of interest paid in high, again, still at least half of your balance initially, or around half of your balance, is basically not in high anymore. So if high increases a lot, the BUSD portion doesn't, and again, then the weighting stays. So look up impermanent loss for that case. So for staking in the liquidity pools, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, anyway, so before we hold back on the questions, we want to cover a little bit more ground here, but I promise I will check the rest as well. And yeah, we're just going to circle back here. So let's go to screen sharing. And again, so one of the many things. So first of all, high is, or which high card you can get is tied to your membership tier. So meaning high basic requires 100 high, which right now would be $4.30 or so, or do I have it open? $4.50 if you buy it at market, or if you buy it in the app with a 30% discount, then it would be $3 something. Yeah, so for a $3 something investment, you basically already get a card that gives you 1% cashback. And besides that, actually, unfortunately, doesn't have too much to offer. Okay, we can just scroll here, but it doesn't. There was still something there. Yeah, the access to the merchandise. We're going to ignore that. I guess many people don't care that much about merchandise, so we're going to focus about the things that basically make money, bring money, or save you something. Yeah. Now, yeah, then the next level would be high black, which already, or still is at an affordable 1,000 high. So right now at around $45 if you were to buy it open market, and it already gives you 3% cashback, yeah, plus 10% more earnings. So on everything you stake at high, you get 10% more interest. If the regular offer would be, I don't know, 10% interest, you would get 11%. Plus, and that's the next bonus offer, you can choose one so-called lifestyle subscription. So while, for example, if we circle back to crypto.com, we can see below here that they include, for example, Spotify, Netflix, and so on, but you cannot choose. It depends which card you have and if you get it and how long you get it and so on. With high.com, they actually have a list of 100 perks, a little bit more actually, like Netflix, YouTube, even Pornhub for who needs it and so on. And with the high black card, you can pick one of those perks. Now, the details of each perks are not public yet, but it will likely work like with all the other cards, so that it means either you get some kind of subscription completely paid, or you get a fixed amount refunded every month, which means if you would pick Netflix as your subscription perk, and Netflix costs you, I don't know, $13 per month, then you pay it with the high card, and then once per month you get a refund, either, let's say, $10 flat or the entire $13. So again, the details for each perks we're still waiting for them, but it will be similar to other offers. So it's kind of like an additional benefit that you have. But I said for a $35 or $45 investment, if you buy it open market, you can already get that. Yeah, like, I mean, it doesn't get much better. To be fair, if we compare it, if we look at competitors, there's the Bluetooth card, for example, that without a subscription also gives you 3% cashback in PLU and also offers one perk. So in this case, if we look at that on the 3% level, and if we ignore everything else High has to offer and that Bluetooth doesn't, then just on the card level, the 3% card, the one at Bluetooth would, again, if we just look at the 3% here and the one perk, would look better. Yeah. If we, however, and that's the point where it really starts to get interesting, if we look further, 5% cashback, and that's really, I think, the cornerstone. So again, 100 High for basic, 1,000 High for black, and 10,000 High for the silver membership, which means it's roughly right now a $450 requirement or staking requirement. Again, that money is not gone. You just have to stake it in High coins or tokens. And depending on how the value of High develops, it's either worth more or worth less after some time. Yeah. And for that, you get 5% in spend rewards, 20% boost on the staking, and you can already pick 5 lifestyle benefits. Yeah. Now, if we look at the 5% card here, again, it's around on the market $450. If you use the discount, then $300 something worth of High that it requires you to lock up, yeah, or put into either have in your wallet or in your earn balance. And if we dare, for example, now look at crypto.com, their highest card, it used to offer 8%, the Obsidian card, but now it only offers 5%. And requires 350,000 euro or $400,000 staking worth of CRO. And in return, you get Spotify, Netflix, Prime, Expedia, not sure about that reward. Airbnb is $100 that you can get back per month for booking at Airbnb, launch key. So it offers some perks, but I think all of those perks are pretty much irrelevant if we compare that right now it requires roughly $450 if you buy on the market without the discount to get 5% cashback at High, or 350,000 euros or $400,000 to get the same cashback percentage from crypto.com. Yeah, like, so there's a huge difference. If we look at Bluetooth, which at the 3% level, obviously, if we only look at the card fact or card features and not the entire offer that High.com has versus what Bluetooth.com has or Bluetooth.it has, then at the 3% level, the Bluetooth card looks a little bit better, but in my opinion, it isn't. But if we look for 5% cashback, we can already see that we cannot reach it with any subscription. So the subscriptions, the monthly ones, have only 3% cashback. So it also requires you to buy PLU, so the Bluetooth token. And to get 5% rewards, you need to lock up or have at least 500 PLU. And if we check there, the current value is $7, which means to get 5% at Bluetooth, you would have to commit $3,500 worth of money. Whereas again, at High dollars, you can get the 5% plus the 5 perks already for right now $450, with the discount even cheaper. Now here with Bluetooth, you get then a total of 8 perks. Or 8 additional perks, which makes it 9 total, or 8 total. I'm not sure about that, but let's say 9 total. And at High, you get a few less perks. So you have then here 5 perks, but it's still, in my opinion, the better offer because you only, compared to Bluetooth, need to lock up roughly 10% of the capital needed. And if you compare it with crypto.com, you only need to lock up 0.1% of the capital needed to get a card that offers you 5% cashback. Now, another player on the market is obviously Binance. They also offer up to 8% cashback. If we check here, to receive 5% cashback, although there is some cap there, that's you see monthly cashback cap, so you can only get 270 euro back in a month at most. You need between 99 or more than 99 BNB in your wallet. Now, BNB is right now at 272. So times 100 is basically you need $27,000 committed to the BNB coin to achieve 5% cashback, but only up to 275 euros per month with the Binance card. So while again at the lower level, so the 1 and 3% level, people might argue that there are other options where you don't even have to commit anything. But if we then consider that the lowest level here, we're talking about less than $5 and less than $40 commitment to get those features and all the other stuff that High has to offer. The silver level already shows that High is like created an offer that is without competition. Yeah. Sorry, I'll need to drink something. So, and then we're going to quickly take a look at the latest messages. So let's take a look at the latest messages real quick. their switch there. Plus, to maintain membership tier, high needs to remain staked all the time. Well, the same applies with if you get the card from crypto.com, you have to lock in your funds. They are locked for 6 months, although you don't have to restake them. They just stay there after the 6 months. And after the 6 months, you could theoretically remove them anytime, but then you also lose the benefits. So your card doesn't have the 5% cashback anymore, but would then only have, I don't know, 3% cashback if we talk about the $400,000 card, yeah? I don't consider that. I mean, if you really, let's say really right now with the price of high at 4.4 cents something, sorry, if we talk about getting the 3% card, which again, I had the crypto.com 3% card for 1 or 2 years, or 2 years or 2 or 3 years actually, yeah, like time just flies, and made a lot of cashback with that I was very happy about it. So even if we just talk about the 3% card, we're talking about locking up like something around $35 with the 1 year discount purchase option. That doesn't seem like an amount of money that, oh, I will need it next week urgently to pay my rent, because if you need those $35 to, I don't know, like pay your rent or pay other crucial bills, then you anyway don't need a cashback card because you have a general money problem, yeah. Sure, if we talk about the higher cards, like, I don't know, if we were to talk about the 400,000 that you need to stake to get highest diamond card with 10% cashback, then sure, that's a number that for most of us might seem like, oh my God, that's insane. But there are also enough people at crypto.com that staked $400,000 for something that at the best offered 8% cashback and now offers way less. Plus, with the difference, if we compare crypto.com and high, at crypto.com you don't get any interest anymore on the CRO that you had to stake for the card. So if you stake $400,000 to get the card, those $400,000 don't give you any interest anymore. Whereas at high, you might buy it with the 1 year discount and don't get an interest, but then every day you get your portion, you put that in staking to maintain the requirement for the membership level, and then that starts to get you interest. So it's like, yeah. But yeah, like the idea to not be required to stake, it's like, yeah, I mean, not that you had that idea, but yeah, in general, it's also good because it means as long as the cards offer great benefit, more and more people will get the card and stake high, which reduces the supply in circulation, which again helps increase the value. Yeah. Genuine Crypto Airdrops channel, welcome here. Yeah. I'm not doing price speculations. And so what's the price prediction of high dollar in December this year? So I'm not doing price speculations. We talked about the price earlier from an aspect what affects it, which if you just jumped in, just I don't know, like watch the stream from the beginning, because it will explain a lot about how the value of high behaves, but I'm not sharing any predictions as to the value. Yeah. So okay, with that we can actually move on. Screen sharing. So, okay, so with that, we covered basically the 5% card and already compared it to Bluetooth, Binance card, and the Crypto.com card. And like it's clearly for way less money, you get the same or a better offer. Makes, in my opinion, a huge difference. Like the card material, while nice, so didn't mention it earlier. So the basic card comes in plastic. The black card is in UV finish plastic, so nicer plastic. Silver card comes in silver metal. Not sure what to imagine under that, so we'll have to wait and see. The higher cards then gold precious metal, mirror metal, and diamond encrusted metal. I'm actually curious to see those cards. I'm just not sure what it will mean. Will there be actually some kind of real gold on the card, or diamond encrusted? So will there be a real small diamond on the card or not, like it was initially teased months ago or so? Anyway, it doesn't really matter in the end. Anyway, I add the card in Curve or in Apple Pay once it's supported, or actually we'll always leave it in Curve for the extra 1% cashback I get there at my favorite retailers. But so I'm anyway always paying with Apple Pay, so the card will just be in the wallet somewhere at home. But yeah, anyway. So moving on, after high silver, which again requires roughly at the market $450. If you buy with the discount, actually less than that. Dollars commitment and gives you 5% cashback. The next level would be gold, which requires 100,000 high, which would then therefore be $4,500 or 3,000 something dollars if you buy with the 1 year discount offers. And that's actually, So I'm going to take that away. In my opinion, the gold and silver levels are the ones that are really worth it. So those are the ones you want to go for, in my opinion. If you can afford gold, as said, it's like right now $3,000, $4,000 or $3,500 in that area to get the 100,000 high that you need for that. But for that, you get 8% cashback. So it's already a huge gap from 5 to 8. So you get 3% more cashback. You get the maximum earn booster. So for example, when you stake high for 1 year, you don't get 40% interest right now, but you get 52% interest on those highs. And you can already pick 10 lifestyle subscriptions. Plus, the material is obviously irrelevant, but if we scroll down a little, the earn booster, perks, blah, blah, blah. It already is the first card that includes the personal concierge service. We will see how that turns out, what you can do with it and so on, but it's still the first one that includes it. And although we're not looking really at the merchandise, it's also the first one that includes the VIP merchandise access. Yeah, so it's really kind of like the only difference between gold, platinum, and diamond is like that for platinum, you get 1% more cashback. For diamond, you get 2 more cashback compared to gold. And they have both the 30% earn booster, and then it's the number of perks. Gold brings you 10 perks, platinum 15, and diamond brings you 20 perks. So there it really depends how much you like the perks, but considering that the perk is something like get $10 or $15 back per month, but the diamond card requires 400,000 staking. So it's kind of like the gold is, in my opinion, the best offer out there. Like, again, like less than $5,000 requirement, but 8% cashback and already the maximum pretty much of everything else, and still already 10 perks to choose from, which if you pick it right, you might get another $100 cashback per month, or maybe $150 cashback per month just from the 10 lifestyle subscription perks. Yeah. And for those out there for whom like $4,000 is really a too big investment, I understand that. I mean, I also started small at some point. Yeah. In my opinion, silver is then the killer offer because it's still reasonable. I get that in some Asian countries, when your average salary is like $300 per month, then actually putting up $400 right now, $450 or $350, depending on, again, if you buy on the market or if you take advantage of the 1 year discount, is a lot. It would be 1 month salary. But especially now in the launching countries within Europe, where the average salary is higher, I think like putting up the $350 to $450 to get that card, if the gold card is not available or just out of your reach right now, it's still great because 5% cashback if you spend $1,000 that you pay with the card, so gasoline, groceries, whatever else, like your next vacation and so on. For every $1,000 you spend, you get $50 back in crypto. If you don't believe in high, just exchange it. If you believe in high, hold it, and maybe over time it increases in value, so the $50 actually turn into 100 or 200 or who knows. Yeah, you already get 20% earnings boost and at least 5 lifestyle perks. You don't have to think about what's the most or the best one for me. You can pick at least 5 to have a little bit of a variation in there to cover more of your daily use cases. Yeah. Now circling back real quick, since we have a new question here. And do you mind sharing the membership tier you belong to? I've made a small contribution to it. Pranav, thanks for the contribution. You probably made a contribution to my wife's account since she's a referral of mine, and we are like kind of like sharing our both referral codes, so it's mixed. But yeah, I don't mind sharing. So I'm right now on the platinum tier, and on the waiting list, I'm gonna check if it changed. Yeah, so yesterday I was in the 2nd spot on the waiting list, where there are currently 1,479 people total. And since yesterday, yesterday evening, I moved to the 3rd space. So I'm currently, like the 3rd highest person in the waiting list. Yeah, from the supported countries. Yeah, blah blah blah. And so I have to say, but we also, I mean, a lot of it comes from promoting high actively in its early days when the rewards program was better. But we also this year, when I sold everything at crypto.com, so that was more than 10,000 euro, and I was a little bit busy with, we were a little bit busy with relocating because of the situation in Ukraine, or the Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and us being stuck in Germany and then finding an apartment here and whatnot. And so basically I put all of that in high back in March or early April. And now it was March, I think, yeah. And before that, I already bought high, and after that, we still bought high. So, and then there was the high had 2 competitions lately. The high Super League event. There's currently also the high trading competition. But during the Super League event, both Irina and we both ranked in the top rankings for both weeks. And there, basically, I got in the first week, I got paid in Ethereum and got I don't know, like a little bit more than $3,000 Ethereum for my place in the first week, but Irina got, I think, 50,000 high, and in the second week we both got 50,000 high. So like a lot of the high we have is either, I mean, we bought a lot, but we also got a lot from being very, very active in the community and doing a lot to share the news and what high has to offer. Yeah. Thanks for the congratulations. High Chilled House, you need a virtual card to pay ad bills that offers you cashback. They're gonna have a problem because all the cashback cards, they basically will have in their terms that they're for personal use only, and if they notice that you run up ad spend on them, they will just shut you down. Yeah. Personally, for ad spend, my favorite card, to be honest, is like the American Express Platinum in my case. But there are better cards in the US. Depending on where you are, it's different. So I'm in Germany. So for me, different cards are available than they are for you. And for me personally, Platinum American Express, the best card for advertising spend and so on, and also with other benefits. Quite pricey, but doesn't have a credit limit. And therefore is very great for running ads with it because you can scale up. But I said in the US, if you're in the US, there are cashback cards that you can get that offer you also cashback on your ad spend on advertising like Facebook and so on. So yeah, should look into that. But yeah, they're probably, yeah, like highest card, I don't know, high debit cards probably not suitable for that because the high itself is for your personal account, and therefore if you start running your business ad spend over it, you probably would run into issues. Yeah, now, let's circle back real quick. What did I forget? Obviously, the how you can get the card, should have gotten that out of the way earlier, obviously. And it's quite straightforward, to be honest. You simply download the High app. If you don't have it already, there's a link in the pinned message. There's a link in the description and so on. And there you basically, once you have the High app, when you sign up, you ask for a referral nickname. You can obviously enter mine if my videos or this live stream is the first time you learned about high.com, and you can find the referral code also in the description below, or when you follow the link, it's also written somewhere there, so it's not too hard. And then in the app, there's a card tab, so where it says card, you just press on it, you can select which card you want to have, and then select it, and then it will ask you to buy the required amount of high, which you can then do by either pay with your credit card, depending on the country you're in, first wire money to your high accounts. You could also just wire money there, or send crypto there from one of your other crypto wallets and use that to buy the high that you need for the card. With that, you're going to be in the waiting list. And on the waiting list, if you're within one of the countries that's already supported, so again, that is the European Economic Area plus the UK, then you will see your place in the waiting list. So you're number 1, number 2, number, 500. And however, if you are in a country that's not supported, so for example, the Middle East is right now not supported, so there will be no high cards right now, but they might be there in the future. You can still already opt in for the high card, but you will then not see the waiting list ranking. You will just see that, okay, once we launch in your area, we will let you know, similar like Crypto.com does it, for example. They also have the option in every country that you can say, I want to have the card. But it just tells, and you already stake, but they will tell you, or they then tell you, they let you know once it's available. Yeah, and the same is with high.com. Personally, I think it already makes sense. So if I would live in the US, or I would live in South America or Asia, or maybe Australia, I probably would still already stake for the card, because I personally believe with the card and the incredible offer, it will attract a lot of users. Just like when Crypto.com this year changed their offer, I'm going to actually circle back here. So when Crypto.com changed their offer this year to make the cards, in quotes, worthless or just not as good as they were before, there were so many people from Europe, from Crypto.com, that moved their funds to Bluetooth, that Bluetooth actually used up all their cards, so that there suddenly was a 20-week waiting time to get new cards. Yeah. And Bluetooth cards, as we saw, while their 3% card technically is comparable if we ignore all the other things High has to offer, if we look at 5% or higher, there is like no real question like what's the better offer in terms of what you get. And I assume that over the next couple of weeks and months, we will see all those people that, or not all, but many of the people that ran to Bluetooth and basically caused them to have a huge shortage of cards and 20 weeks delivery time, that they will go to High and basically buy up more and more High to get their cashback cards. And again, once the incentive supply is used up, so there's no more 33% discount, that will actually start to drive up the price. And that's why personally, if I would live in the US, South America, Australia, Asia, anywhere else where I have the hope that the High.com card will launch eventually, I would already get in now, because right now it's at 4.5 cents, and with the discount even cheaper. And while we are talking, it might have, let's check what's the latest price. Yeah, now it's at 4.78. So it's already showing that the card announcement makes a difference, and that more people are investing in the project now, because even though all the in-app purchases, so when people buy with the discount, don't affect the price directly, there are apparently still enough people, like for example, people from the US, because of the restriction right now cannot purchase High within the app. So they probably are still buying up the amount they need for the membership tier on the open market. And I would do the same. I mean, that's not financial advice. It's just what I would do. Everybody, you have to decide for yourself. There's obviously also the chance that you say, okay, I'm going to go and buy 100,000 High now because I'm waiting for the card to launch in the US. And then it's possible that the price falls. It's also possible that a year or two later, there's still no US card. I mean, we don't know like worst case scenarios, that you basically got something or bought a lot of High, which you in the meantime could put in the gigapool and so on. But basically you bought a lot of High just because you want the card, and then you still have to wait. Yeah. The France is not the Middle East, my friend here. Yeah. So France is Europe. And in France, you could obviously get High's debit cards, but again, you could use it for ad spend for some time, but I would assume that at some point they would definitely, let's push the button, that they would definitely, if you have like $10,000 Facebook bill per month for 20 or more, I know how ad accounts can go like up, like to $1 million per month in ad spend and more. And so, if you do that, it's probably gonna be real quick with "we're sorry, but you're violating our terms." But no matter how you do it, there's it's also, to be fair, there will be, well, right now the pages don't mention it, but it's just a matter of time until there will be certain restrictions. Like for example, on Crypto.com with their cashback cards, you don't get cashback at certain vendors depending on which merchant category code their credit card program runs through. So if they're classified as a gas station, for example, you don't get cashback there, because people abused it, for example, to buy, Apple gift cards with the card, but then sell the Apple gift cards. And so they got the cashback, but also then sold the cards to get their actual money back, and then just put the money again on the crypto card, and then buy again gift cards and sell them again, and so on. And I'm sure that I hope not, but I'm sure sooner or later there will be somebody that finds some way to abuse the cashback on the high dollar cards or High.com cards. And there will also then be restrictions later. Maybe even one of the restrictions might be no cashback on payments to Facebook, or Instagram or other platforms that charge you for ads. So to be fair, it's also you have to consider, if you're a private entrepreneur, so you don't have a limited and so on, then technically your High account could be used for business expenses. I'm saying technically, or theoretically. And then I would personally just ask the support, and just say, okay, can I also use it to pay my Facebook ad bills or so? And depending on what they reply, you have then a written answer, Or you can do and take a risk and say, okay, you're not going to ask, you're just going to try, see if you can get the 5% cashback or 3% cashback or whichever card you're going for. And if they pay it, it's great. And if not, you basically invested some money in what, in my opinion, is a great project anyway. You still have a cashback card that you can use for your personal spending to save money there or get crypto back there. And if they don't complain about it and pay you cash back, then congratulations to you. Yeah, then just scale up your ad spend further, hopefully, to make even more cash back. Yeah, but yeah, I think, I mean, I wanted to cover more, but we're also in huge overtime. I never managed to keep these streams in the 30-minute time range that I want them to be. But I think we've covered everything. So basically, yeah, like in my opinion, a no-brainer to go for the card, no matter which tier, unless you're totally broke. But even the 1% cashback card already means if you start using it every time you pay there, you have 1% saved. 1% of your money more in your pocket or in your crypto portfolio in that case, instead of somewhere else. Yeah, and obviously, as mentioned earlier, my personal highest value recommendation, or in my opinion, the best value would be the high gold card for 100,000 high. So again, 3,500, 4,500, or actually 3,500 to 4,700 or so with the current price, depending if you buy with the discount or not. So, and probably already getting slightly expensive or more expensive by the minute. Simply because of the 5 or 8% cashback, the maximum earn boost, and so on, and 10 perks that you can pick. And if that is out of your budget range, then just go for high silver. It's still $400 or $300, somewhere in that range that you need, or $350 to $500 actually, since the price increased while we were talking. Yeah, like, but it offers 5% cashback every time you spend €100 somewhere. You have $5 invested in crypto that you can either sell and cash out or hodl, however you like it. Or every time you spend $1,000, you basically also put $50 aside that basically build up your portfolio over time. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. If there are no further questions, I'm gonna call it a day. Still have a few other things to do. There's gonna be a video about the cards that is a little bit more structured that I managed in this live, but obviously didn't or doesn't address any questions we have here. And that video should, I don't know, be released within the next week or two or so. And there's also a video about High's IBAN account. So if you don't know that feature yet, so make sure to just check my channel, or I don't know, enter on YouTube Christian Rauchenwald High Dollar or so, and you should find most of my videos about the project already. And other than that, if you're curious and you want to get your high dollar cashback card and jump on the waiting list, then link, as said, in the description below, in the pinned chat message, and so on, so you cannot miss it. And just go for it, and basically then enjoy getting cash back for everything you pay for. And yeah, since we don't have any other questions, I'm just gonna call it a day now. So thank you all for tuning in. See you all hopefully next week, Tuesday. There's gonna be another Let's Talk About before I forget. So in the community tab of the channel, you can see how to vote for which topic is gonna be covered next week. And also on Thursday, there's gonna be the next live stream. It's my weekly gaming stream. So it's gonna be me screwing up royally, playing, in this case, Batman Arkham Knight on the Xbox Series X. Yeah, same time, same place. So this channel, 7 p.m. German time, so GMT +2. But you can also see it, and should already see it on the channel. There should be next live, and you can just press notify if you want to tune in. There's going to be more about small talk, so I'll still answer some questions about crypto and so on, but it's more about like chilling, playing, and yeah, like just relaxing. So Tabasco Jalapeno. My pleasure, yeah. So my pleasure. As I said, thank you all for tuning in. I hope I was able to share some information with you. And yeah, like if you have any questions, you can also always obviously leave them in the comments below and so on. And I'll usually answer them once per day. So till next time, bye-bye.